Well, I figured out how to do a spice model. I texted my good friend, and he of course knew how to do this. Yes, he uses spice all the time. So he gave me a trick. But before we get to the trick, let's go ahead and look at the spice model. So it's over here on the right. There's a sine wave generator with a 50 ohm impedance. I have to put in that 50 ohms. Then it goes through my filter. And then it's terminated with 50 ohms. The output needs to be terminated with 50 ohms. Without these two 50 ohm resistors, you'll get strange data. But put those in, then everything looks good. And if we do an AC analysis, you do AC limits, and you set things up here in AC limits and say run. You get this plot over here. And so we have a nice plot that looks very familiar. Goes out here to about, let's see, yeah, this is around 8 megahertz, and then it goes down here and falls off. This is 30 megahertz. This is between 1 megahertz and 30 megahertz, so all of the HF bands. So yeah, so it's falling down. So everything is working great, and so we've seen that with our two inductor setup. So how do we model the one that's on one core? He said you need to add mutual inductance. So I've heard of mutual inductance. I always kind of associated with that with two coils that were kind of next to each other, but I guess if they're on the same core too, then they have even more mutual inductance. So I guess that makes sense a lot. So you need to add mutual inductance. Now I'm not familiar with what type of units that is or how that actually works or everything, but MicroCap has it in here. And so you need to add this component here that's called K1. Okay, you need to add this K component. So how do you do that? You go over here to Component, and you go to Analog Primitives, Analog Primitives, Passive Primitives, and then there's a K, okay? And you select that K and you put it somewhere in your circuit. Now you don't hook it up to anything, it just sits there all by itself. And it's just there as a global operator kind of thing. So you need to set up values on K1, all right? So let's see here, how do we go here? So these are actually, oh yeah, I was playing around here. These are actually 1.5 in my actual, when I measured these at 1.5, so our roll-off, yeah, see our roll-off's happening right around 7 megahertz. Okay, so that's really the plot that we have. I was fooling around and changed these to 1. Anyway, so 270 picofarad, 1.5 microfarads, 680 picofarads, 1.5 microfarads, and 270 picofarads. Okay, anyway. So you need to set up this K1 thing. So let's double click on that, and you get this pop-up. Now you need to, it's a K part, and it's the first part I put in there that says K1. Then you need to tell it which inductors you want to mutually induct. And so you have to create a list here. You put L1 space L2. Don't put L1 comma L2. I think I did that to begin with, and that's wrong. Put in L1 space L2. And if you just hover over something, a lot of times it tells you what to do. Like right here, I'm hovering over inductors, and then down below, down here, you can see it's giving me a clue. It says, oh, you need to have a list of inductors, L1, L2, L3. So, okay, so you put that in there. And then the next thing you need to do is put in the coupling factor between the two. Now I set coupling to 0 right now. It says do not couple them together. Do not do that, okay? Now if I put in a factor of 0.2, and now they're going to be coupled with a factor of 0.2, boom, our graph now looks kind of like what it looks like. We have this dip here, and then we have this other funny thing that happens out here in the reject band. So yeah, it looks like it's doing what we want it to do. It's great. And so yeah, mutual inductance. Now we can play around a little bit. We can say, okay, well let's go ahead and change this. We're going to step it. Okay, so you can step that value. You can say I want to step. It says step what? Well, step what? I want to step K1. And what do you want to step? I want to step from values of 0.1 to 0.2. And then you tell it what steps, 0.02, step it, yes. And then you tell this thing to run, and there we go. So if the mutual inductance changes between those two, you'll get this series of this series of plots. So yeah, it's telling you sort of what's really going on here. Now I don't know exactly how you come up with the mutual inductance number and how you would put in permeability in cores and all stuff like that. I'm sure it's probably possible. I don't know, but it is giving me, you know, a reasonable thing now, which I really like. I'm getting real data, which is great. Let's turn stepping back off. Step it no. So we just have one thing here. So now we can go around and change a value of something. We can change this center. We could put it at 270 picofarad, see what happens. Ooh, look at that. That looks interesting. It moved it way out. 680 picofarad. Now I was changing this capacitor out here. We'll do a 680 picofarad out there, and it's not really doing what I saw on the network analyzer, so I'm not quite sure what's going on there. So I need to figure that one out. But now I have a model. I can take a look at maybe optimizing this thing by playing with different values and stuff. So yeah, it's quite interesting. Let's see, I could change this one to 2 microhenries. It just shorten it up a bit. I could change it to 1 microhenry, send it out a bit. Yeah. Oops, what did I just do? Oh, I had to put 1.5 henries. 1.5 microhenries, that's better. Yeah. And maybe change this one to put 1 microfarad. Ooh, that didn't work at all. 1,000 picofarad, yeah. How about 0.01 microfarad? Yeah, there we go. Let's look at that. That's different too. 0.01 microfarad. Yeah, it's very interesting. Anyway, spice metals are cool. Don't have to solder any wires. Just try it out here and then maybe go build one. So I don't know if I'll learn any more, but it certainly looks like a viable filter and something you could actually model. So again, I'm still looking for some literature on people who have actually designed filters with this mutual core.